it's Miss Frizzle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to be doing a video walkthrough tutorial of my new crochet pattern for the Polka-Stripe jumper, which I am wearing right now. This pattern is made to be more of a crop style, so you can do it as more of a short crop like I have here, or you can have it be a longer crop. I include sizing for both options within the pattern. The pattern is available for only $3 on Etsy. I also highly recommend using Hobby's 88 Friends cotton yarn, but you can really follow this using any DK weight yarn. Just keep in mind that the sizing might be a little bit different depending on the yarn that you choose. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into what this pattern actually looks like to make. The whole structure of this jumper is made by 2 sets of 2 panels. That means 2 body panels and 2 arm panels. All 4 of these panels are made using the exact same pattern, basically. The only difference is going to be your starting chain amount, which you can find using the sizing guide in the pattern, and the stripe row count, which can also be found in the sizing guide using the pattern. The demonstration I'm about to give you will apply for all 4 panels. And chances are by the 3rd or 4th one, you're not even going to need to follow along with this to be able to do it. That's how easy it gets. Now, before we get into the real crochet action, I wanted to thank the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. If you're watching this video, you've probably figured out by now that the world of crocheting can feel as overwhelmingly inspiring as it can overwhelmingly complicated. When it comes to any skill, the key to conquering that complication is to develop a strong foundation of knowledge to build from. But in a world with all kinds of crochet inspiration, how do you know where to start? This is the point in your learning process where Skillshare comes and saves the day. With dozens of different crochet videos, all rated by skill level, you can effortlessly build a strong base knowledge in this subject or in any other creative skill that you've been wanting to grow. With Skillshare's learning paths, you'll never have to feel confused on where to start or what to learn next. Every learning path is designed so that each lesson builds off of the last, slowly improving your expertise without leaving any gaps in that core knowledge. There are so many different subjects to study on Skillshare, like art and illustration, music, and my personal favorite, creative careers. I'm especially excited about this vlogging course. I'm already having so many ideas for cool little art vlogs I could make using these tips. I have a cute little free trial code for you guys to get 1 entire month of Skillshare for free. That is 4 times the amount of free Skillshare that you'll get if you just go to their website without my code. The first 500 people that sign up for a new Skillshare account using this QR code or the link in my description will get a whole free month of developing whatever creative skills they want to work on. So go ahead and take the opportunity to practice your creativity on Skillshare. You are worth that investment. Our first row of every panel is going to be chaining X, X being your starting chain amount that you can decipher using the sizing guide. For row 2, we're going to chain 2 more and then single crochet into the 3rd stitch away from the hook. We're then going to single crochet into every single chain stitch in the previous row until we get to the very end. After single crocheting into the final stitch of that row, chain 2, and turn your work. That brings us to row 3. As you're following along in the color switching half of this pattern, keep in mind that row 3 of all of your panels is going to count as your first stripe row. Start row 3 by skipping the first 2 stitches of the previous row and single crocheting into the 3rd. Then put another single crochet into the same stitch. This will create what's called a cluster stitch. After you've made your very first cluster stitch, chain 1. This chain will create a little bit of a space in between every single cluster stitch, which we will refer to later as the chain space. After chaining 1, skip the next 2 stitches and single crochet into the 3rd. Add a second single crochet into that same stitch, creating another cluster stitch and chain 1. Follow this same general pattern of skipping 2, cluster stitching into the 3rd, and chaining 1 until you reach the end of your row. If you followed the pattern properly, the last stitch in every single row should be filled with a cluster. After you've finished that final cluster stitch in the row, chain 2 and turn your work. This brings us to row 4 and beyond. Every single row in the rest of the pattern for every single panel is going to be the same as row 4. The only difference is that we're going to switch colors along the way, and our very, very last row after our final stripe row in the entire panel is just going to be single crochet. But We'll get to that later. So at the start of row 4 and every row after that, we're going to cluster stitch into the first available chain space of the previous row. Remember that chain space is the little space that we created in between cluster stitches with that chain 1. You basically are going to crochet under that chain space to create your next cluster stitches. After creating your first cluster stitch in the first available chain space, chain 1 like we usually do, and then create another cluster stitch in the next available chain space after that. Chain 1 and repeat this process until the end of the row. Row 4, just like all of the following ones, should end in a cluster stitch. This final cluster stitch, instead of being in a chain space between 2 clusters, will actually be into the chain 2 space. Now, if this actually is row 4 for you, you will chain 2, turn your work, and repeat the same process again. But if you happen to be at a point within the color switching methods in future rows within the pattern, you would actually just chain 1, bind off, and turn your work to get ready to color switch. I will show you exactly how to add new colors onto your work and color switch later in this video. So now that we understand what the first few rows look like of every single panel, and we have a clear understanding of what row 4 and beyond look like for each panel, let's get into what really makes this pattern special, which is this unique color switching method. The way that the color switching pattern is written is each letter is a row. So you will complete an entire row matching the row 4 part of the stitch pattern for each one of these letters. The great thing about this pattern is you never have to switch colors within the same row, but if you don't carry along your ends as you're crocheting, you're going to end up with a ton of loose ends at the end of this project. So if you're someone that usually gets stuck at the end of making a bunch of panels by just not wanting to weave in all of your ends, I really highly recommend that at the beginning of your very first panel, you choose one side of your panel to be the side that you weave in your ends on. This is what that looks like in practice. You will have to choose one side so that way you can make sure that when you sew everything together, that side is facing the inside against your body. It's definitely worth that little extra bit of effort as you're crocheting to actually have the whole panel just be done and ready to be seamed together as soon as you finish your last stitch. The color switching setup for this pattern comes in 2 different phases, the stripe phase and the transition phase. Your stripe phases will all be solid colors and will vary on row count depending on the stripe row count that applies to your particular sizing. Whereas the transition phases will all be 6 rows no matter what size you choose, and they will all color switch in the same exact order. The only difference will be the colors that you are using. I highly recommend assigning a letter to all of the colors that you've chosen to use for your particular jumper before starting to crochet this pattern. All of your panels will start with color A. So that means row 1, 2, 3, and 4 should all be color A of every single panel. I would show my little diagram of what the transition versus the stripe area is, but that wouldn't be fair to people who are spending money on the pattern because that's one of the assets you get in the pattern. So now that you know what that looks like, you understand how that's structured, I can now actually show you how you should be attaching these new colors when you're color switching in between rows. To start a color switch, make sure you finish off the final row of whatever color you're switching out of by chaining 1 after the final cluster stitch and pulling that tail tight. If you're weaving in your ends as you go, I recommend leaving about 2 inches of a tail, so that way you have enough space to weave those tails underneath 2 to 3 cluster stitches. After you've pulled that tail clean, turn your work. Then we want to hold out the color that we are switching onto, leaving the same amount of tail space as we have of the previous color. Then stick your crochet hook into the very last stitch in the previous row and pull through that new color into the front. With this new color on your hook, chain 2, and you are then ready to follow the normal cluster stitch method for the rest of the row, just like you would on row 4. Just pretend that the chain 2 you did was the chain 2 that you did on the previous row, if that makes sense. Depending on which side of the project you're crocheting into, you will have to wrap around your loose ends and weave them in on a different side of the panel. Just pay attention to what side of the panel you're crocheting into and make sure that you are weaving in all of your ends on the same side of that panel. Once you have color switched throughout the entire color switching pattern and you have completed the final stripe row of your color E, finish off your panel by doing one last row of single crochet. Then go ahead and bind off, weave in that last little tail, and you will have finished your first panel. Finishing your first panel is so satisfying. I just finished the first panel for the next Polka-Stripe jumper that I'm making, and I think it came out so cute. Ignore how it's wrinkly. I haven't steamed it yet, but I am so in love with this color scheme. I'm making it for a friend of mine, and I think it's going to literally come out so cute. You can see how amazing this looks without having to do any work with the weaved in ends, versus the side that has all of the ends weaved in on it is kind of messy. As far as structuring and sewing together the garment, I have included all of that information within the pattern as well. That's just another thing I'm probably not going to spoil in the tutorial video today, just to respect people who actually spent money on the pattern, but I do include resources in that pattern. As for caring for these sweaters, whenever you're using cotton yarn, make sure that you are washing these sweaters like they are delicates. You want to only wash using cold water, and I highly recommend getting a delicates mesh bag to wash it in your washer. This will help make sure that it doesn't pill super bad, as cotton yarn does tend to pill. And if you made your sweater a little bit too big and you want it to be smaller, then go ahead and put that in the dryer. I'm sure it will be perfect sized after that. But if you want to maintain its size, I recommend always hanging it to dry. And for best results right after you make the garment, I highly recommend steaming it. I hope you guys absolutely love this crochet process for your Polka-Stripe jumpers, and I'm just so beyond grateful and excited for you guys to try out my very first crochet pattern. I've included links down below where you can order your yarn if you have just been freshly inspired to try this project by this video. And I highly encourage you guys to email me through the email on my link tree if you have any questions along the way, or if you just want to share your results with me. I would super appreciate any advice for improving the sizing so that they're more accurate, or being able to improve the pattern in any other way that you notice. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you love your Polka-Stripe jumpers. Happy crocheting!